Today we look into how re-entering on losing trades can actually benefit your trading system. Let's get into this one. Traders, welcome back on the Road to 20 PA video series. Today was day 48, and as you can see, we have two blue arrows on the chart right around this area. Those were two of our entry points in today's live trading session. And usually when you have trades that close together in time, it means you're tilting, you're revenge trading, you're not trading well. But today it was actually quite the opposite. As you can see, our first entry went in our direction and then stopped us out, and that was a losing trade, and right after we re-entered. And usually this can cause a lot of problems in trading, but if you do it correctly and you know you're being unemotional and it's following your trade plan, then it's okay to re-enter in certain spots, and it can actually benefit your trading so much, because a lot of times you will jump the gun on entries just a little bit too early, and then you'll get another confirmation that the market's going to do exactly what you want it to do. But since you entered too early and got stopped out, you're scared to get back into the trade, even though the market's giving you all the signals that it's going to go in your direction, but you miss out because you're scared. But if you trade unemotionally and you follow your trade plan, you can re-enter safely and ride it to profits. Let's get into the live trades and see how I did this today. Alright guys, starting the video as I'm planning on taking my first trade of the day. If it forms nicely, what we have here is a failed second entry short in the uptrend after the two-legged correction phase played out, and the trend line, the bottom of the trend line, just held twice, and we pushed back above EMA. Now we're getting a great signal bar. If we can close this high, we still have some ticks left. Let's see if we can get a good buy opportunity. All right, and it triggered. What we had here was two-legged correction phase perfectly to the bottom of this trend line, and we had this trend line holding geometrically. You can see all the higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, and then from the lowest low, we have first entry short, pull back, push above EMA, push above this resistance level, and then second entry short, failure. Let's see if we can get in this trade. Actually going to chase it one tick.
Order filled.
And we are in. Let's see if we can get the scalp super quick. It probably will take a little bit to get there because it's later on in the day. Market's a little bit slower, but let's see if we can get the scalp.
Order filled.
And we got stopped out. Oh my god, boys. Happens every time, I swear. This is still a really good trade, though. You just have to take it. I know I bought a little bit. If you draw this trend line, I did buy. My entry point was directly into the top of the trend line, but with this bigger uptrend in play and it holding 1, 2, 3, 4 times, you can expect to work to the top of this trend line. I did move my take profit down one tick to the open of day, because as you can see, we did bounce off the open of day twice, and we just reversed a little bit sooner than we usually did, and a lot of sellers came in. Maybe I should have moved my take profit down by one tick, but it is what it is. Again, from this high, this is the highest point of the uptrend, you had a two-legged correction. You have first leg down, pull back, second leg down, perfectly measured to the tick, measured, and then as soon as it got to the measured move of the correction phase, which were these two legs down, we had from this low, the lowest low, we had first entry short, pull back, second entry short, trigger below this bar, perfect trap bar, as you can see. And then we had, hold up, I might actually re-enter right here off the, it's not, never mind, it's not a lower high, but sorry, what was I saying? We have first entry short, pull back, second entry short with this one tick below. You have old resistance turning into support with this strong push up. And this is a good bar to get long over in this uptrend. Good risk to take. We were like one tick away from getting scalped out like always, and then it just doesn't work. Again, nothing's 100% in trading. I'm probably going to wrap it up for the day after that, but it's hard to watch, man. Just every time, I swear. There is resistance up here though, but it's higher up, and I literally moved my take profit down. This is the resistance level right here, but my take profit was like right here, and it should have at least tested above it. Both times it at least ticked above the resistance, but that time I guess not, man. I don't know. It is what it is. It's still a really good trade though. Let me just mark it real quick. That's a good risk to take, especially after we've been moving up for the last like 3 hours, I swear. So this is a second entry, failed second entry short. Failed second entry short. If I can type. Lower or higher low, confirmation. And that's usually a good bar to get long over, because you can expect to reach the top. Expect to reach the top of the range. And you can even tell that we were making higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. So this is a good bar to get long over, but sometimes they just don't work out. Again, anything can happen in the market, guys, so you can't really get mad over it. This trade probably works like 90% of the time or 80% of the time. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. We are going a little sideways, but we have been working higher for such a long period of time that I thought it was a good idea. And this trend was confirming it. But whatever. And then starting the video again, I might re-enter because we got another bounce off EMA. And this time it looks a little bit better. Again, the trend line's holding again.
Order submitted.
Low risk. It's not. It's actually very small risk. And let's see if we can get the correct entry this time with the second higher low.
Order filled.
All right, and we're filled. As you can see, I guess we just timed the entry a little bit too early, but it ended up working the second time. This time we bought a little bit closer to the EMA, so we have more room for the scalp before these highs. So maybe a little bit of a better entry. It wasn't a higher low though, because as you can see, it did break below our failed second entry short entry point. But it's still a good entry because you can tell this EMA is holding well right here, and the trend line is still holding, and you have higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. You can tell the market wants to move upwards. We still have this uptrend in play. And let's see if we can get a little bit of a runner before 4 o'clock. That looks promising. I'll probably take profit around these highs up here and call it a day. Rough that we had to take the L like that, but sometimes you just enter a little bit too early and you just have to re-enter. Let's see if we can get a runner.
Stop filled.
All right, and we took profit a little bit higher up in the trend just because we were bouncing off the top of that trend line. We might even be able to get a second entry long off the EMA. It's coming close to 4 o'clock, but I'm willing to wait this one out. I just wanted to take that runner because it offered us so much runner in such short time. And I don't really want to push the runner past these highs. Plus, we're on the eval with the trailing threshold still following us. If we're on a performance account there, we can let that run a little bit longer and be a little bit more aggressive, but you don't want that trailing threshold sneaking up on you too much. So it's better to just take the profits on the EAs just so you can lock in profits. It's good for the confidence too, and keeps you with a higher margin for error later on in the account. But that was the trade. And those were our 2 live trades for the day. Let's take one more look at the 2 trades that we took today and why they followed our trade plan. Again, we have this very nice uptrend working higher. And then we have these 2 measured correction legs that are measured to the tick. You can't get much more picture perfect price action than this. A lot of the times, once you reach the top of an uptrend, you will get 2 correction legs that will retrace all the way back to the bottom of the trend line, and that's where the correction phase ends, and the push phase will resume like this, and you'll get back to the top of the trend line, and that's exactly what happened in this case scenario. As soon as we got this measured correction, we had bounce off the bottom of the trend line, then you had push up, first entry short, and then this first entry short actually failed off the trend line again, so it's another confirmation that this trend is valid. So you have first confirmation of the trend line, second confirmation of the trend line with the first entry short, and you have a strong push above EMA, above this resistance line, indicating bullish imbalance, which is important because we're going long. We want to look for bullish imbalances. And then you have a retest of the EMA and the form of resistance, and you tick below this bar, and that's your second entry short right there, and it fails. Strong push up off the EMA, old resistance turning into support, and this trend line is holding 1 and 2 times. Those are great signs to go long. So I went long over this bar, and I think I got about 1 or 2 ticks before I was about to scalp out, and then it instantly shot back down, stopping me out. And at this point, I was thinking that the trade failed. My initial read on the market was wrong. But then we had another test of this former resistance, another test of this trend line going up, and it held again. It held. The former resistance turned into support. This trend line held, and we had another push above EMA, which is weird because those are all signs of bullish pressure once again. And then I was changing my mind. I wasn't scared to re-enter anymore because it follows the trade strategy. You have an attempt to go lower again, a trigger below this bear bar actually, which traps all the sellers that are selling right into the trend line, right into the support now, and right into the EMA, and they all get trapped. You get this great signal bar that's very safe to go long over, and as you can see, follows all the rules. It worked out in our favor, and you actually get a 10-point run up to the top of the trend line. Exactly what price action is supposed to do. Sometimes you just jump the gun and enter too early, but if your trade plan shows consistency and you still get those signs that the market's going to go in your direction, it's safe to re-enter. And as you can see, it made me money today. And if you're still watching the video up until this point, that means you probably like the content. So please make sure to hit that like button and subscribe down below. Even leave a comment telling me how you did today or what I can do to make these videos better. I love the feedback. I love hearing from you guys, and I love interacting with our little community. I hope you guys had a great trading day today, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.